Alright, so here's the review for our PET unit, the post-EOC topics. The first part of this is going to be vocabulary. So when you see supplementary angle, okay, you eat your supper at a table. Here's my little table. And a table is 180 degrees. So that's an easy way to remember that supplementary means 180 degrees. Complementary, complimenting people is the right thing to do, and a right angle is 90 degrees. What is the equation for perimeter? So for perimeter of a rectangle, you add up all the sides. So we got a length, a width, a width. So you add up all the sides, so there's 2 lengths and 2 widths. Area of a rectangle. Area equals length times width. So there's your answer. Slopes of parallel lines. They're parallel. They look just like the L's in parallel, so they have the same slope. Same means identical. Perpendicular lines. Okay, perpendicular lines, the slopes you double flip. So it's not necessarily the opposite, it's the double opposite. So opposite reciprocal. These two lines, if we look at this, we have a 3x and a 3x. So those are the same slope, and their y-intercepts are different. So same y-intercept, same slope, different y-intercepts. That is our definition for parallel lines. They have to have the same slope and different y-intercepts. Here, we've got a slope of a negative 2/3 and a slope of 3/2. One's positive, one's negative, and you flip the fractions. So those are perpendicular. So you flip the fraction and switch the sign. You have to flip and switch, or switch and flip, whichever way you want to think of it. A line is perpendicular to this. What is the slope? So we have to flip and switch. So instead of positive, we need a negative, so it's not this one or this one. And to flip a 2, that's like writing 2 over 1. So to flip it, it becomes 1/2. So it's a negative 1/2. Describe the following line. Okay, so this line is hitting the x-axis at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the line is x equals 5. Perpendicular to the x-axis. This is the x-axis. There's the line. So yes, that is perpendicular to the x-axis. It's parallel to the y-axis, so it can't be C, can't be D. And it has an x-intercept. It's hitting the x-axis at 5. So your answer is B. Okay, YDE. So YDE is 21x minus 5. CDY, so CDY is 10x minus 3. And CDE, so the whole thing is 147. So the whole thing, so we're going to add the two parts. Parts plus part equals whole. So 21x minus 5 plus the 10x minus 3 equals 147. Hey, this is an equation. You can put the left side in y1 and the right side in y2 and see where they're the same. So we've got 21x minus 5 plus 10x minus 3 equals 147. So left side y1, right side y2. Look on the table. Are they the same at 5? Second window 5. 147, 147. Yes, so x equals 5. And that's your answer. If you wanted to do it by hand, if you don't have a calculator at home, 21x can combine with a 10x, so that is 31 x's. A negative 5 and a negative 3 is a minus 8. Okay, to solve for x, you add 8, so we would get 31x equals 155. Divide by 31, divide by 31. So x equals 5, which is exactly what we saw on our calculator. Question 12. Okay, the following angles are supplementary. You eat supper at a table. If you didn't remember, this could have helped you just by the picture to know that we need, the definition is 180 degrees. What is the measure of each? So that means that this 2x plus 10 plus this 4x plus 20 have to equal 180. Well, right away, these two don't add up to 180, so it can't be that one. Alright, so if I combine 2x and 4x, again, you could do y1, y2, and just look on the table. So 6x plus 10 and 20 is 30 equals 180. Combine your like terms. Then to get the x by itself, I'm going to subtract 30 from each side. So 6x equals 150. Divide by 6, divide by 6. So x equals 150 divided by 6, 25. Okay, but it's not asking me what x is. It's asking me for the angle measure. So I'm going to plug this back in for my x. So 2 times 25 plus 10. 2 times 25 is 50. Plus 10 is 60. So this angle is 60. So that one tells you it's got to be this one right now, but let's just double check. 4 times 25 plus 20. 4 times 25 is 100. Plus 20 is 120. So 60 and 120 are my angles. Segment AB is congruent. Congruent means equal to segment BC. Determine the length of AC. So they want to know what the whole thing is if these two are equal. So I'm going to set them equal. 1/2 x plus 4 equals 2/3 x plus 3. I could put that in y equals. Y1 is the left side. So 1/2 x plus 4. Y2 is 2/3 x plus 3. You will notice in geometry that a lot of the things that you're doing is all vocabulary. So these are the same at 6. So x equals 6. So I found that they were equal at 6. At 6 they were both equal to 7. Okay. So now to figure out what this side is equal to, I'm going to plug the 6 back in. So 1/2 times 6 plus 4. So half of 6 is 3. And 3 plus 4 is 7. So this side's equal to 7. Let's plug it back in over here. So 2/3 times 6 plus 3. 2/3 times 6 is 4. Plus 3 is 7. So the whole thing, 7 plus 7, is 14. Okay, solve the equation for x. Left side y1, right side y2. Just make sure you put your parentheses where they have it. So parentheses x minus 4 divided by 6, and then y2, x divided by 2. Where are they the same? At 1, no. At -2, they are both -1. There it is. Because on our table, at -2, they are both -1. So that is your answer. Good. 15. Which equation does not match the graph? So let's see. The y-intercept is -4. So that matches. The slope is, let me see. There's a point, there's a point. 1 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, 2, 3. So that matches. Rats. Okay, I'm going to solve this one for y. Isolate other side, so minus 4x. And I need to divide by a -3. So y equals 12 divided by -3 is a -4, so that matches. Negative divided by negative is a +4/3. that matches. Hence, which one does not match? Okay, so if I was to solve this for y, add 4, I'll put that in my calculator. 4/3 parentheses x minus 6 plus 4. Let's look at the graph. That looks okay. Let's double check. Does it go through the point 0, negative 4? Yes. And then 3, 0? Yes. So that one's good. So this one, to solve for it, add 6, add 6. So 4/3 x minus 4 plus 6. 0 does not go through negative 4, so that one is the one that is wrong. If you're using point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, you switch the signs for the x and the y to pull out the point. So this is a negative 4, so the x value is a positive 4. This is a negative 6, so the y value is a positive 6. So that means 4, 6 should be on your line, and it's not. This way, the x value would have been a 6, the y value would have been a 4. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that one is on the line. So if you remember your point slope form, we wouldn't have had to solve for y and plug it in the calculator. But I'm all about my calculator tricks. Which point below is not part of the solution set? So it needs to be shaded. Just for a reminder, we've got our shady man, Slim Shady. So these are shaded above, so you know that the equation would have been like that. But that doesn't, we don't need that in this equation, but just for common knowledge. So 0, 0, that one is in the solution set. 1, 1, that one is. Negative 10, negative 10, that's going to be like way over here. And no, that one's not. 5, 20, way up there. Yes, that one will be. So make sure you read that word not and don't get distracted. Convert the equation into slope intercept form. Okay, so to solve for y, add 3, add 3. And you could just plug them in the calculator, see which one's the same. So we've got negative 5, parentheses, x plus 12, close parentheses, plus 3. So that's what I need it to be the same as. So let's see, negative 5x plus 9. Nope, not the same. Okay, negative 5x minus 63. Nope, not the same. Okay, negative 5x minus 57. Yep, same. Every single equation is the same. So that's how you do it on the calculator. If I wanted to do it by hand, okay, I came over here, I knew that I needed to add this 3. I need to distribute this negative 5, so y equals negative 5x. Negative 5 times 12 is a negative 60, and then the plus 3 at the end. So y equals negative 5x. Combine these two things to get a negative 57. So there it is by hand. Which equation correctly models the table? I am all about plugging things in your calculator. So to get this y by itself, I'm going to subtract the 7. That goes away. This one, I'm going to add the 13, add the 13. This one, I'm going to add the 10, add the 10. And that one's already solved for y. So we can just plug it in our calculator and see which one matches. 3 parentheses x plus 3 minus 7. 3, 7, nope, not that one. Alright, 1/3 x minus 5 plus 13. 3, 7, nope. 3x plus 7. 3, 16, nope. 3 parentheses x minus 4 plus 10. 3, 7, yes. 4, 10, 5, 13, 6, 16, 7, 19. That is your answer. Now, if you wanted to use your point slope form without your calculator, okay, this has a slope of 3. Here plus 3. Here plus 1. Delta y over delta x. So this one goes on top. So 3 over 1 is 3, so it couldn't have been C. And then our points, if I pull the point out, you do the opposite. So the x value is a positive 4, the y value is a positive 10. 410 is on the table. That one's the solution. This one, slope of 3, the point would have had to be -3, -7. I have no idea if that matches, but based off the table, it doesn't. All right, write an equation in slope-intercept form from these points. If you remember your calculator, there's 2 points, you can use stat. So stat, edit, we've got the point -2, 2, and we've got the point -5, -4. So I put my points in stat, enter, and you type them in. So stat, enter, type in the points. And this is a line, so stat, right, 4. And my equation is y equals 2x, because my a value is 2, and then plus 6. Or I could have come over here and plugged these in. 1/2 x plus 6. And let's see, does it have those 2 points? -2, 5. Nope. 2 divided by 2x minus 2. -2 goes with -4. Nope. D. 6 divided by 2x plus 6. That doesn't even have an x. -2. Nope. 2x plus 6. -2, 2. -5, -4. Yep. What is the equation of the line? If we're looking at this table, again, you could plug these in to try to match them, but look at this. What do you see here? All of those y's are what? Y is 4. So if all the x's had been the same, it would have been x equals a number. But here it's the y's that do. Compare the graphs of this and this. Alright, let's plug them in. Anytime you have an equation, plug them in your calculator. 3 divided by 4x minus 2. 3 divided by 4, parentheses, x plus 4 minus 2. The lines have the same y-intercept. There's one, not the same. The lines intersect at 0, -2. Nope, only one of those lines. They don't intersect at all. The graph of g of x is 4 units left. So there was the original. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Do they have the same x-intercept? Here's an x-intercept. Here's an x-intercept. No, they're not the same. Which you can remember on I had over. This plus 4 is the part that's different. It's inside the parentheses, so it's got to be a horizontal change, and it's the opposite of what you would think. So plus 4 actually makes you go left. Okay, given that linear function, which function represents a translation left 3 units and up 4? So again, I had over. Okay, we want to go left. So inside the parentheses, so somewhere in here, and you do the opposite. So to make it go left, I'm going to do x plus 3. So in here, I'm going to add 3. So 7 plus 3 is 10. Well, that's the only one that has your answer. And to make it go up 4, that's a vertical change, so it needs to be outside the parentheses, and it's exactly what you think. So plus 4 on the end. So let's double check and make sure that this works. The original is 2/3 parentheses x plus 7. My new equation is 2/3 x parentheses x plus 10 plus 4. So I needed it to go left 3 and up 4. So there's the original. No, that's kind of hard to see. So if it was at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, looks like almost 5. Left 3 would be negative 3. So it'd be like almost 9. At negative 3, it is at almost 9. Yep. What is the slope of a line parallel? Parallel means same slope, which if you forget, you can go back and check the definitions at the beginning of the test. Well, to be able to find the slope of this, I need to solve for y. So I isolate other side by adding the 2x. You write it side by side and divide by the 4. So y equals, that would just be negative 7 over 4. And then positive 2 divided by 4 reduces to 1/2 x. So that part needs to stay the same. What is the equation of a line that is parallel? Again, same slope. So I need to find the slope here. This is negative right away, so it can't be d. And it's rise over run. So I'm going down 1, 2 over 1. Oh, there's 2 of them with that slope. Well, it has to have the same slope and a different y-intercept, because if this had a negative 2 and the 5, it'd be the exact same line. So that C is your answer. Alright, the perimeter of the rectangle shown is 28 inches. What is the length of the smaller side? So perimeter, if you forget the formula, you have it at the beginning. It's 2L plus 2W. So we're going to do 2 times this 3 plus 5W minus 6 plus 2 times this 1.25x plus 1. Where did I get a W from? That's an X. I'm a dingling. Sorry. And it equals, the whole perimeter is 28. This is a y1 and y2. I could plug that in to find my x value. 2 parentheses 3 plus 5 x minus 6 plus 2 parentheses 1.25x plus 1. And I want it to equal 28. Where are they equal? Ah, at 4. So x equals 4. That's not what it's asking me. It's asking me for the length of the smaller side. So to determine that, I have to plug them in here to find what the side lengths are. So 3.5 times 4 minus 6. So I'm going to plug this in. 3.5, plug in the 4, and then minus 6. And that side length is 8. Here, you're going to take 1.25 times the 4 plus 1. 1.25 times 4 plus 1. And that's 6. So the smaller side is 6. One last question. What is the equation of a line that passes through point T and the origin? Okay, so here's the origin right here. So let's see, the slope, I'm going up 1, 2, over 1, 2, 3. All of those have that slope. So you could solve them all for y. So to get rid of a plus 2, you subtract 2. To get rid of a minus 3, you add 3. I'm going to try to use my point slope form. To pull it out, you switch the signs. So this is a negative 3 for your x, and negative 2 for your y. This is a positive 2 for the x, a positive 3 for the y. This is a positive 3 for the x, a positive 2 for the y. This is a negative 2 for the x, and a negative 3 for the y. Switch your signs with point slope form. So this point is at negative 3, negative 2, so that's our answer. Let's make sure. To get rid of a plus 2, I would minus 2. So let's plug that in. 2 divided by 3, parentheses x plus 3, close parentheses, minus 2. That goes to the point 0, 0. And does it go through negative 3, negative 2? Yes, it does. All right, so make sure you have all of your work shown, and then give this to your teacher on the day of the test for your last review grade, except for your final. Bye.